For as long as I've been making videos on YouTube about Las Vegas, there's been people in the comments, even dating back to over a year and a half ago, saying things like, Vegas is dead, Vegas is done for, I want to see the place become the ghost town. Never totally understood this. I figured maybe they just lost a lot of money here, or their wife dumped them when they had a bad gambling run or did something stupid. But we're now reaching a place where it looks like that actually might happen. So this video isn't intended to scare you or make you upset or give you any bad vibes. It probably will, but we're going to explore how we can avoid all this, because we are coming up to a point, and I noticed it a few days ago after somebody said something in my live streams about how the federally mandated unemployment bonus of $600 a week is going away for people across the country, how it's happening before the end of this month. And I started to think, what happens to Las Vegas when that happens? A city where people are not back to work. It's easy to say for the federal government, hey, Ohio is getting back to work. Hey, we're good to go in Iowa. But that's not the case. That's not what's happening right here. It sets up a domino effect of things that could be incredibly detrimental for places like Nevada, Las Vegas, other destination towns that rely on tourism as an industry, especially when tourism is not exactly a hot commodity right now. So we have to talk about it, and I've been trying to do this video for the last 3 days. So like, share, subscribe the video, hit the bell for the future notifications. Also, do me a favor, comment below. Do you think that this is something we can get through? I think it is, but what are your personal thoughts? If you guys want to also go ahead and head on over to Patreon, you guys can be on the Patreon. I recently started posting very heavy there. I think there's over 150 different things to unlock. Last night I did a text post. I think I did some photos yesterday. We also have 2 minutes of a new upcoming 20-minute plus video that I'll be doing on shows in Las Vegas, highly edited. I post up a little 2-minute clip from that. Early access, all sorts of things. If you guys want to get the masks, vegasfacemask.com, the only 2 masks you'll ever need. Oh my gosh, look at the quality of those things right there as I shake my camera to death. Yeah, the wife makes them. They don't go around your ears. They go around the back of your head. And they're the only 2 masks you'll ever need. 2 for $25, and they ship anywhere for free. We ordered a mask from a local place here in town just for the fun of it. And it took 2 weeks to ship, and we paid $20 for 1 mask after shipping, and they're cheap drop shipping quality, not handmade like these. All right, so yeah, haters gonna hate, commercials aside. There's also links to Amazon and Vegas.com in the comments you can click on if you guys want to support the channel that way. Let's talk about this right now. Let's talk about the idea of what's happening, the perfect storm for a place like Las Vegas to have major troubles ahead. How do we get through it? Well, it's going to take a massive amount of cooperation from people with all sorts of alphabet letters in front of them. D for Democrat, R for Republican, I for Independent. We have 2.5 political parties in America deal with it. It'll take cooperation from them, but good luck on all that, especially with an election coming up. But what happens in about a week and a half, if that? On the 25th to 26th in most states, not the end of the month because of the way that most states do their unemployment benefits, we run out of the $600 a week stimulus that the Trump administration issued and everybody in the government on both sides agreed on. This gave people in America who are unemployed an extra $600 a week to get by during the time when the economy was shut down. A lot of people were adverse to taking this. They said, I don't want to take that. I've never been on unemployment in my whole life. Yeah, but folks, when the government mandates that everything you do has to grind to a halt, don't feel bad taking that money. It's not like they told you to quit your job. They kind of gave you no choice. And in a lot of sectors of the country, the tourism is coming back. But in a place like Las Vegas, where we've had actions like bars being forced to close because of flare-ups and hotspots, and a place where we have the Palazzo Tower closing for reservations on the weekdays, things are actually regressing while the rest of the country is progressing. So as in a place like Iowa, Ohio, I don't know, Indianapolis, Indiana, where the industries are coming back because the numbers are dropping, our industries are teetering and threatening to go away, and we are running out of people who have unemployment. We're running out of unemployment money for people who do not have jobs. And this is how I think Las Vegas will get into trouble and why we have to get in front of this right away. See, no matter how happy the casinos make the people, no matter how confident the casinos can make the people that they're having a clean, friendly, sanitary experience to the best of their abilities, the numbers don't lie. Either we're checking for way more cases and we're finding them. We haven't had as many deaths in a few days, thank God for that. The numbers are still skyrocketing and they haven't started going down yet. And with people not traveling back to Vegas for that reason and that reason alone, not going back to work, and the moratorium on evictions being lifted in the end of this month, we're going to have a storm where people in Las Vegas are not working. If they are not homeowners, even if they are homeowners, they're not able to pay their bills. They're not going to be able to pay their rents. They're going to look at eviction. They're going to have a problem. The courts are going to be completely backed up. But as more people are out of work in Las Vegas and they look to other states, not our neighboring states, where in Arizona and California they have their own problems, people are going to look at doing what they did back in 2008 during the economic crisis, which is possibly moving out of Las Vegas to go somewhere where there are jobs. States like Colorado, states like Montana, states like Washington, where there are jobs happening, where there are opportunities for people to go and get work, and there are ways for people to just get by. People run into this protectionist mode when they're trying to survive, especially when they're trying to protect their families, their bottom lines, and their ability to support themselves. And if we get to the point where people are not working in the casinos are not hiring back. Right now we have the Cosmopolitan threatening 3,000 layoffs in August. We have the MGM foreshadowing this months ago, saying that depending on how things are, they might have to furlough 2,500 employees. Resorts like the Palms Casino not being open, the Fiesta and the Texas not being open for an entire year. We have a situation where if enough people are out of work and they leave the state and they can't pay their rents, the rents will adjust. But the homeowners who are responsible to pay their mortgages will also see problems. And we have a domino effect where even when the casinos do come back, we don't have the population here to support it. We don't have the people here to get hired. And we don't have the confidence that Nevada is a place where you can come, do business, build a family, have a life, make a profit, and just overall dominate and have a better life. And for a long, long time, that's exactly what it was. Nevada was always a place where you could have a chance. I considered it one of the last places in America where somebody could go and park cars and hustle for a living at one of the valets and get upgraded to park the millionaires' cars. I once met a guy who made $200,000 a year parking cars. It's possible because when you're real good and you're real personable, you start parking the cars of the celebrities and pulling in the big tips. I once met a person who came out here with nothing in his pocket and parlayed it into a successful manufacturing business. It's possible when you have low state taxes and you have jobs to do that you can do on the side while you try to build a main business for yourself. But without that federally mandated money coming in from the government, without the ability for people to just get by for the next few months until we either get to a vaccine point, know more about the virus, have confidence that people come back to travel, without those casinos hiring people back, we have a situation where people might be moving out of this town in numbers that make 2008 look basically tame. And I would hate to see that happen. So how do we get to the end of all this? Well, I think it's a shame that we are looking at another stimulus check, but that it doesn't look like we're going to be looking at any extensions to the federally mandated unemployment insurance. I think it would be apt and make sense for them to extend that and put a whole bunch of provisions in there to try to get people back to work who could go back to work, or just do some kind of a bonus when people do get a job, be it an existing job that comes back or a new job. Think about it this way. The government comes along and tells people that, you know what, you're not working right now, but there are jobs. If you can go get those jobs, we'll give you a 35% pay increase for the next 5 months at those jobs or the next 6 months at those jobs. People would be trying to get any kind of job that they could, whereas before they might not have had a low-paying job. Maybe now they have a low-paying job, but their low-paying job is supplemented with governmental money thrown into it for the next 6 months, and that can get them through to the low-paying job, doing that job, not having to move, not having to start all over, not being unemployed, not having a sense of no value, while they wait for their actual jobs to come back or find something else that they can do that's more higher paying for them. There are all sorts of different ways that we can get through this, but as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's going to require people with the letter D, the letter R, and the letter I in front of their name to work really, really hard to come together, stop their partisan politics, and make sure that they can help. Now, in terms of help, Sisolak has tried to help the state of Nevada, I'm sure. He's in a rock and a hard place. He doesn't know what's going to happen, and he doesn't have a crystal ball. He's just afraid and paranoid that if the people of this state get sick, he's going to be the one responsible for their lives being lost if they get really, really sick. On the other hand, we have the President of the United States, who during the deepest part of this entire crisis was working hard with federal response to provide ventilators and different types of things, floating hospitals in New York, We had so many ventilators at some point where we had to start shipping them to other countries. Nobody is completely innocent, and nobody is a complete rock star winner in all of this, no matter what politician you put in front of me. We can pull up a bunch of things they did that were dumb and a bunch of things that they did that were good. But we all have to remember that the overall bigger picture of all this is the health and well-being, mental safety, and mental sanity of people who just need to have jobs to work and a place to go and consistency in their life, because Americans are not people that want to stay home. We reopened the states and people traveled. People tried to be as normal as they could. The new normal is not the old normal, so let's make the new normal something that we can get through until we can get as close back to the old normal as we possibly can. But let's do it with the avoiding a lot of people being permanently out of work in Nevada and looking for opportunities elsewhere, because that domino chain of events is what I feel could finally be the linchpin for what ends this town. And I would hate for that to happen. And then again, my name is Steven, and I am not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you would like, share, subscribe to videos, and hit the bell for the future notifications. If you guys want to reach out and support us, we have the Patreon, obviously. VegasFaceMask.com, no S at the end. The only two face masks you'll ever need in your whole life. We also have links to Amazon and Vegas.com, and also the Facebook group called Not Leaving Las Vegas. I hope you would join us over there. If you guys like the video, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Now's the time of the video where I get real close up, show you the face mask, and say 3, 2, 1, click. My camera's over there. I got to remember. 3, 2, 1, and click. Thank you.